in just a second. So for right now, I'm just going to have you flip through this real quick. The back side of the sheet that we were just looking at shows you an example of standards. These are the Wyoming state standards that were adopted by our state in social studies. So in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, whatever is being taught will fit under one of these 6 content standards, or strands. By the time they leave middle school, they will have hit every one of these strands. Same when they enter high school. So that's the big overarching thing for the state. For the outcome assessment, the thing that's really being graded, that's going to be the next page. You'll notice it says pacing guide, and it has a list of 9 things, 6.1 through 6.9. The 6 represents grade 6, and then the 1 through 9 are the various outcomes. This is what's being taught. 6th grade, both sides of the district. Get to it however you can, but this is what's going to be assessed. And then the 2 teachers will look at how they did, say how your kids do, here's how my kids did. Let's kind of talk about why I got the results I did, why you got the results you did. But this is all that's being assessed right here. So that's the district level. Again, the component, you have some latitude there, that's in the classroom itself. The next page, if you look at it, it says Unit 8.1. This is an example from math. This is a proficiency scale. So this is where we get our 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s, because we don't do A, B, C, D. I got to share this. True story. It happened, it is 6:14. It happened 3 hours ago. I'm in a class, so here's a kid who is thinking, and it's a person who's been in an A, B, C, D prior. So it's not a 6th grader because, you know, elementary kids are all used to 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s. He goes, Mr. Kilbride, I think something's wrong. I've got all A's, and I just don't think I should. And so I go, let's look. And so we pulled it up. He had it on his iPad, and I go, I won't say his name. You were absent on Tuesday. He was A. He was looking on the left-hand side. He was not looking at the right-hand side. God bless him, but you're right. You don't have straight A's. You were absent all day Tuesday. So it's something we have to retrain our brain. You guys are all products, as well as I, of ABCD. So it is different. It's very, very different. I guarantee you this is much, much better. It allows our teachers to know what your kid is missing. It allows the kid to know what they're missing. And we can really drill down. I'll give you an example. This is my own son. Got a 2.5 on a language arts assessment yesterday. Came home and said, was talking to his mother, who then talked to me when I got home. She goes, he said he missed 1. How does he get a 2.5 and missing 1? So we had a lovely conversation about what that looks like. It's not about how many you get right or how many you get wrong. In a traditional system, if you have all low-level questions, you had 25 of those questions and they were all low-level, just recall who's the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. You know, what year was the War of 1812 fought? 1812. Okay? You get all those right, you get an A, 100%. He's kind of that mindset going, Dad, I got all of them right but 1. Yes, but the one you missed was the level 3 question. As you go level 1, pretty easy stuff. In fact, a lot of our tests don't even have level 1s on them because it's just really low. You need support team to answer that. Level 2, general recall of stuff that you have learned. Level 3, a little higher involvement. You really have to think through the answer there. And a level 4 is applying the knowledge that you have. So this proficiency scale kind of shows you that. Every single assessment that is given has a proficiency scale unique to that outcome assessment. Every teacher has to write a proficiency scale for outcome 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, on down the line. Now they look similar, but they are specific to that assessment. So if you look at this one, to be a level 4, in addition to level 3, in-depth inferences and applications go beyond what was taught. Graph and order rational and irrational numbers. Use rational and irrational quantities to solve real-world problems. You can get all of them right and get that one question wrong. You're not at a 4. You might be at a 3. You might be at a 3.5. And there's that disclaimer between the two. You had all the elements of a 3, but not all the elements of a 4. You had some of an element of 4, but not all. You're at a 3.5. My son, bless his heart, had all the level 2 and almost all of the level 3. But I looked at the test he took. He had messed up one little part on it. He's not at a 3 yet. And that's okay. He corrects that, figures out what he did. He's now at a 3 or perhaps even a 4. Because the 4 question he kind of rocked on. So he goes in and is able to correct that. He'll end up being at a 3.5 or a 4 based on that assessment. That's the other great thing about standards reference. We're all about getting to that level. We want you there. And so if you're at a 2 or below, we're going to mandate that you remediate. You are going to come in, and we're going to work to get you to that 3 or 4. Question came up today. This kid came up to me, and he's got a 3. This is a teacher asking me. The kid got a 3, and he wants to retake it and get to a 4. Should we do that? What do they do in your old school? Well, if they had a B or better, we didn't let them do that. That's crazy. If a kid wants a 4, why would we say no? We force them to do it if they have an F. But once we, that's our side of things, and I'll refer to that school. That's their choice going, I don't have time to get you. Be satisfied. Because I would be going, I got to see, good enough for me. It should be good enough for you too, right? No, if the kid has a 3 or a 3.5 and wants a 4, yes, we will take them and get them there. Or they'll get themselves there. But we would never say, that's good enough, just move on. No, we love those kids that say, that's not good enough for me. So that was a great conversation to have. And it was great because she's like, well, that just makes sense. And we go, yeah, doesn't it? But why would we withhold that from a kid just because we would say, well, it's passing, go on. That's the other big difference, too, is traditional grading was about points. How many points can I get? When I had an 89%, let's be honest, when I had a 79% and wanted to get to 80 so I could get the B, it would be, how many points does that take? How many points does it take to get me there? So I could bring something in, I could do a little bit of extra credit, I could have my mom come to parent-teacher conferences, and I would get the extra points, and I would get there. It has nothing to do with learning. 0 to do with learning. Standards reference grading has everything to do with learning. My son wants to get, he doesn't like the 2.5. Here's what you have to do. Here's the descriptor for a 3. Go talk to Mrs. Mines, and she'll show you what it is that you weren't able to do. Fix that, and you're golden. Don't line up her books and ask for 10 points. It doesn't work that way. So that's the beauty of standards reference grading. I have included a district assessment. Now this makes people's heads spin. And when I talked to the math teacher and I said, hey, can I take an 8.1? It was, oh God, test security. I go, what could happen? Well, a kid could take it home and figure out all the answers. I go, that is a win. That is huge. I would love it if they would take it home and figure out the answers. First of all, they should have seen all these questions already. Tests are not a surprise. We tell them ahead of time, here's what I'm going to teach you. But because I don't know if they've taken it over on the other side, and maybe somebody takes a snapshot of it and sends it to a kid in Bighorn, I changed all the questions. The integrity of the test is still okay, I just changed all the numbers. So that's why you're going to see some whiteout and new figures. But this is what it looks like. So you'll notice on the first page, there's some level 2 questions. Just some simple things. Is the number rational or irrational? Got a calculator, find the square root of 27 to the nearest 10. So you go through those. Those are kind of recall, things we've learned, and things that are going to help me answer a tougher question, my level 3 questions. So you look down, on the very bottom of that page, a level 3 question. solve for x. And there's a short little equation there. Now I've got to apply some things. And there's a few of those. You don't have to have a 50-point or a 50-question test to be measuring what they can know and do. We have a few. Make sure it's not a lucky guess, or they got that, or maybe you can find some things wrong that they're doing. And then finally, there's a level 4, where you should really apply it. Now, if this were a science class, it might be you learned the scientific method, you answered questions on what the results were in this lab that we had conducted, and a level 4 might be what would happen if, and you put something in there, and they have to justify their answer. They're applying the knowledge they've learned. That's going above and beyond. That's a level 4 type question. What's great about this is when they assess this, the teacher grades this, they can pinpoint. With my son, it was easy. Mrs. Mines just went right here. These were level 2. He rocked it. It's a level 3. He just, on this one, he just got confused, but he actually justified it really well for the answer he chose, which was great. It's just what we're really looking for was this, and then he would then have to justify it. I said, great, I bet he comes in during eagle time. I never look at my kids' grades. I don't pull them up on Power School. His education is his responsibility. So I will not tell him to go see Mrs. Mines and prove that, but he will choose to do that. And that's what we want, is for them to advocate for themselves to go do that. All of them, whether he has a 1 or a 4, no matter what. He will probably not live with me as long if he has 1 as a 4, but it's really his education. I want him to have ownership of it. That's what I think we all want for our kids, is to take that ownership. So that's an example of what an assessment would look like in a math class. Now what I'll do is I'll take you again back to that first page real quickly, because this question comes up a lot. What does this look like compared to a letter grade? Because that's what we all grew up with. At the middle school, we're not getting a letter grade. That's done. That's over. We're not. You're going to know if your son's a 2.5, a 3, 3.5, or 4. Your son or daughter will know that, and they'll know how to correct that right away. At the high school level, you will see both. Reason being, colleges still require a GPA. It's really for comparing one person to another. So we have a formula, and the formula is written right here. And what will happen is at the end of a grading period, let's say you have 3 or 4 outcome assessments. When that is all said and done, with those outcome assessments, they'll total those up. We'll add your 4, your 3, your 3.5, your 2.5, and we will come up with an average and divide by 4. And where that number falls, maybe it's a 3.72, or maybe it's a 3.33, well, that will put you at an A. That will put you at a level A. Like my son, again, was thinking, Dad, I got them all right, but 1, it's not about how many you get right. A 1 does not equate to a D, and a C does not equate to a 2. You can have 3s, that's higher level thinking stuff, and you can end up with an A. Absolutely. You can have elements of a 4 and not ever get to it, but end up with 3 5s, 3 5s, 3 5s. That would equate to an A at the high school. Again, for us, we're not going to convert it. There's no value in it for us. The A doesn't stand for anything for us. The 3 5 does, because I can go back and say, to get the 4, here's what you need to do. Okay, does that kind of make sense? So that's what this scale kind of shows you is where it would fall.